Alright, my favorite bastards, here is something else. Many people have asked me on streams what are my favorite best classic RPGs of all time, so decided to make a video about it. Obviously this list is extremely subjective as all three are phenomenal games, with many others being close to the top. Some games like Baldur's Gate 2 haven't finished yet, even though I have streamed it on the channel for some time. Gonna have to finish it on my own time eventually, but one thing is certain, that Baldur's Gate 2 is a phenomenal game from the time spent with it, without a doubt, some of the best writing I have ever seen. Baldur's Gate 3 and Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader are on the horizon, and depending on how they turn out, they might get close or even enter the list. Hard to say at this point. So without further ado, let's go to number 3. Divinity Original Sin 2. What a game this is. It did something I believe none of the other CRPGs have managed to do, which is attract wider audience due to not adhering to Dungeons & Dragons formula, but trying something else and succeeding incredibly well at it. CRPGs usually don't look that good, but Divinity Original Sin 2 has great presentation with good graphics, animations and visual effects, which adds to that immersion and is easier to get into. Easy and nice to look at. Character progression is much easier to get into than your typical CRPG, but still has enough depth to combine many different builds that would either specialize or work as hybrid. Then the dedicated Lone Wolf option to enable solo play made the whole game so much more interesting. 4 regions with incentive to explore due to interesting quests and worthwhile rewards. I wanted to explore every nook and cranny cause it was worth it. Characters were really good, with meaningful and well-written backgrounds that are uncovered as the game goes. Thane, of course, being everyone's favorite as sarcastic skeleton. Story was also interesting, with great plot twists during last portion of the game and 7 endings to satisfy everyone's curiosity about all possible outcomes. Combat gameplay is where this game shines the most, probably. Turn-based CRPG, but actually fun to play throughout. That is a rare accomplishment. Don't get me wrong, for us CRPG fans almost every game in the genre is fun due to diversity of tactical options and builds, but for some reason Divinity Original Sin 2 had that extra fun layer. It knows how to quality instead of quantity and make it work fantastic. Playing with elements is probably best in whole CRPG genre, as it becomes meaningful benefit or detriment to success. Though I didn't like adding of blessed and necro surfaces, as it became too much to control or at times even too much to bother with. Divinity Original Sin 2 is CRPG I would recommend first before any other to anyone that aren't big fans of CRPGs due to high entry requirements. My second favorite CRPG is Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. I liked first one a lot, but second really drew me in. Loved the dark graphical style and animations that play out in real-time combat. Game truly looks like successor to Baldur's Gate. Major change from first Pillars of Eternity is the open world and ship combat. I love the fact we can sail wherever and visit many islands that have their own dungeons with unique challenges and rewards. Always felt exploration was worthwhile and interesting. Ship combat has divided people, it has quite an interesting approach. I loved it due to change of dynamic and interesting text-based approach with lots of potential options. Rock paper scissors style with the option to board other ships and have an all-out fight. When it comes to writing, it is hard to find better studio than Obsidian. Again, very detailed story with meaningful unique side quests and extremely detailed characters with vast backgrounds. Many important factions too, with each having really good story and quests. In my opinion, they go a bit too far with the amount of text, as this isn't text-based game, so it isn't needed due to visual component, which in Pillars of Eternity 2 is fantastic. And then not far enough, at times leaving important things too vague and without a detailed explanation. Either way, story is an epic one, that includes direct interaction with all the gods, meeting them in person and seeing how they think and operate. Very interesting. Real time with pause combat was only option at first, with added turn-based mode later. Both work great. For me, next to Divinity Original Sin 2, Pillars of Eternity 2 has most fun combat out of all CRPGs, and it works fantastic. I couldn't wait for every next encounter to see how the game is going to challenge me and if my builds are gonna be good enough. Talking about builds, for me Pillars of Eternity 2 has the best character progression in CRPG genre. It uses best elements of Dungeons & Dragons, takes the most useful stuff, trims the fat and compresses it all into a phenomenal system that allows great amount of interesting and diverse builds. It is sad to hear that a game like this failed to be profitable in the end. Just goes to show how niche CRPG genre has become. And now for my favorite CRPG of all time. For this one we are going back to 1998 with legendary Black Isle Studios. Of course I'm talking about Fallout 2. You can add Fallout 1 here as well. They are very similar. It is a game that started CRPG craze for me and unconditional love for isometric 2D view, gore and freedom to do whatever the hell we want. Obviously I haven't even gotten close to playing every CRPG ever, but played a lot and none of them offered freedom such as Fallout 1 and 2. Whole post-apocalyptic world at your disposal right from the start. North part is populated by tribes and the less developed communities that vastly differ from one another. Den is run by two gangs that eventually get into a fight instigated by yours truly. Then Vault City attempting their version of civilized community with modern version of slavery. Prophetic a bit, ain't it? Then New Reno, a place with so many things to do and wars to instigate, families fighting for the top spot, boxing matches to win, porns to shoot. Yes, you heard me correct, you can be a porn star in Fallout 2. Eventually player gets to southern and western cities with much better armed NPCs and enemies, then mysterious enclave comes into play. I can't tell enough good things about the world of Fallout 2, it is unmatched to this day for me. What I really like is the fact enemies are not over-leveled for the player but just have better gear as the game progresses. Yes, they operate at a bit higher level later on than the starting ones, but you won't find huge discrepancies. And the glorious 2D gore, I love it to this day. Burst mode kills, miniguns tearing enemies apart, bazookas blowing enemies to pieces with limbs flying all over the place, plasma rifle disintegrating anything it kills. After finishing all the quests and before Enclave base I decided to go back to every town and kill everyone. It was so badass going back to San Francisco, NCR or Reno and murdering everything on my path while looking cool in power armor. Oh, you want to take a pacifist route? Sure, go ahead, outside couple of mandatory fights at least, that is what I remember, you'll have easy time making everyone do your bidding without violence. But have a backup proficiency in one of weapon categories just in case. Want to steal stuff? You can steal literally anything. Economy is well made and it isn't easy to get a hold on lots of money to break the game. Combat is bare bones for today's standard, with Wasteland 3 best showing how it should be done, but we have to remember it was 1998. For what it is I found it very much fun and enjoyable, tough as hell as well. It lacks depth in terms of options with highly unbalanced playstyles. For example, sharpshooters would make the game much easier just because of the fact you could start from afar and by the time they got to you at least few would fall. With of course mandatory groin shots that would collapse enemies on the ground. Never got tired of doing that. Distinctive weapons, firing modes, cool looking armor and gore made combat enjoyable despite not being that great, especially when compared to today's games. Fallout 1 and 2 are games you have to experience. They are ridiculous, fun, gory and offer complete freedom. Anyway, thanks for watching, see you soon you bastards.